the Peculiar Kitchen in downtown Scranton, you can get some phenomenal Asian-inspired cuisine, a great cocktail, and all while you can watch Chef Gene prepare the food right in their open kitchen. We are here with our good friend Gene Philbin at Peculiar Kitchen, and Gene, you always have something really delicious here on the menu.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Today, I really wanted to showcase one of our dishes that is heavily focused on local ingredients.
Nice.
So we're going to make sort of our take on a classic Korean dish called Bibimbap.
Okay.
We have a stone bowl here with our lightly seasoned rice, and we're going to get the flame on there. And what we like to do is just get the bottom kind of burnt, a little crispy, almost like a paella or,
Nice.
you know. So when it goes out to the table, it's sizzling and it's still hot and it'll stay hot forever.
Okay.
So there's a little bit of oil in the bottom of the bowl, and that just kind of helps the rice get that nice crispy stickiness without completely burning. While that's going, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take our saute pan with just a little bit of oil, and we're going to warm up some of our beautiful local mushrooms.
Oh, look at that. They look delicious.
These, we slightly roast them with a little Szechuan peppercorn and garlic, and these come from Third Kingdom Mushrooms. They're in Vandelay, Pennsylvania, right up the road.
Yeah, not
and
too
they
far.
become wonderful friends, and they're wonderful mushroom growers. And basically what we're doing now is just warming the mushrooms up, getting a little bit of color while the rice is getting crispy. And then when we're just about ready, we're going to glaze them in our Korean barbecue sauce. It's a very old school recipe, just some real simple ingredients. We thicken it up nice so it's a nice glaze.
Why mess with perfection, really?
Exactly. We have just fallen in love with doing Korean food here. This dish in particular is just a lot of fun. It's familiar. And there's also variations. We do one with our sriracha citrus braised pulled pork. The most popular one is the Korean barbecue glazed brisket. Dice it up, lots of peppercorns and some sesame oil and some chili flakes, just a little bit. And we slow braise that for about 5 hours. And it just kind of falls apart right in the bowl. So this is basically gonna just sit for a few more minutes, and now the barbecue sauce is gonna fall down the sides.
Oh, wow.
And it's gonna start to caramelize. So this is where you have to watch because you don't wanna burn, but this is gonna glaze over really nice, and then we're gonna garnish it with a lot of pickled yummies.
All right. Well, I just want to say something really interesting about Gene. Gene is a phenomenal, serious chef, but then he's got this great side of him, this playful side and fun side, and you have to see Gene's apron. It's just all Cookie Monster faces, which I think is really fun.
I like to, a little pop of color,
Yeah.
you know, especially if you're having a rough day or it's, you know,
Right.
a long day, you know, brighten up my spirits a little
If that
bit.
doesn't make you smile, I don't know what does. All right, Gene, what's next?
Now we're gonna do the fun part, and that's do the plating. So you have a lot of fat, and then you have your saltiness from the sauce. So we're gonna cut through all this with a lot of acid. So we have some of our pickled red onions,
Okay.
which, aside from the acid and of course their natural flavor, they add a great crunch to the dish as well.
Yeah.
Our peculiar pickles, that someday I hope to be world famous. We've been making with the same recipe since our very first pop-up in 2012.
Wow, nice.
Then we're gonna take our homemade kimchi. We've been fermenting this. We usually let it go a few weeks. What we call the mother, some original juices are about 3.5 years old right now.
Nice.
And something that's very cool about this kimchi is that right now it's made with local cabbage from our friends at Fuller's Overlook Farm in Waverly.
Excellent.
And then for a little bit more fat, we're going to put our soy and mirin pickled eggs.
Oh, wow.
These are also from Overlook Farms in Waverly, so we just hard-boiled them like you normally would, about 12 minutes, and then we pickled them in rice wine vinegar, mirin wine, and soy sauce. Just for a few days. Gets a little bit of a different flavor, a nice color, and then to finish the entire thing off, we're gonna put a little kimchi mayo. And it just offers kind of a creaminess to the dish that's just kind of fun at the end.
Just another texture, right?
Just another texture. We're nuts for texture.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna garnish it with a little furikake, 2 spice blends that we make, little chili flakes, sesame seeds, a little toasted nori, and garlic. And that is our local mushroom bibimbap. We try to have a lot of fun. We try to be peculiar. We try to use as much local as we can and have a good time while we're doing it.
So what are some of the popular items right now?
Right now, it's our seafood lo mein. Normally, we might just do a shrimp, but we're really loading it up this season. We use shrimp, our poached Spanish octopus, and Connie crab.
I love it. Now you have some great apps too, right?
We do, yeah. Bao buns have always been a big hit. Our peculiar fried chicken, but the new one right now that's going over really well, it's called the Hot Honey Brussels and Belly, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Pork belly, roasted Brussels, and we glaze that over, and then we actually finish it with a beer cheese fondue.
So why don't you tell everybody where Peculiar Kitchen is located and anything else that folks might need to know to visit?
Peculiar Kitchen is in beautiful downtown Scranton, 307 Penn Avenue. I like to say we're a part of the Penn Ave crew. We have a bunch of beautiful restaurants and bars on this gorgeous street. I think it's one of the coolest streets in the city. You can check us out on all social media networks. Of course, the website, it's thepeculiarkitchen.com.
All right.
We're open Wednesday to Saturday right now from 5 to 9 p.m. Yeah, you can check us out. You get reservations right online. Easy peasy. Just a couple clicks and we'll do the rest.
I love it. It's a great place to dine, and I know everyone's going to love it. Gene, thanks so much for having us here.
Thank you for coming. It's always a pleasure.